Thing that you guys can pick up from that game?
Well, because of, you know, satellite TV, we're fortunate enough to watch the Knicks all the time. You know, I see you quite a bit, so.
I was going to mention, I know that you've been very, very down on my broadcast partner, John Andres, in the past.
No, don't get me in trouble. But, you know, we've been watching the Knicks all year, so it just hasn't been the game last night. We've seen them quite a bit this year, and you know when you play them, they're going to play tough pick-and-roll defense. We're a pick-and-roll team. They're going to play tough post defense, and they're going to run their plays really sound. So last night they misfired on a lot of shots. Hopefully they'll do the same tonight.
Could you take a look at the game last night, and you don't see them on an everyday basis, but they did not seem to have much energy. They weren't as aggressive as they usually are. In fact, Jeff Van Gundy said that after the game. Could you tell that by looking at the game in the first half?
Well, I don't know if it was the aggression wasn't there. I don't know if the concentration, the high level of concentration that we normally see the Knicks have, because anytime you have, you know, 9 to 10 turnovers in the first quarter or 14 in the first half, you know that's not Knicks basketball. So I don't know if the guys were executing, everybody was on the same page, but they always play aggressive.
Avery, as always, thanks so much for taking the time. I saw you hitting about 20 straight jump shots on the top of the circle earlier, which means Avery Johnson is ready. Avery, thank you.
I sure hope so. Thanks for having me.
Okay, Avery Johnson of the San Antonio Spurs. Let's get back to Bob.
Thanks, Marv. As undermanned as they are, Avery Johnson and everybody else had better be ready tonight. We haven't even talked about Charles Smith, the former Knick, who is not only probably out for the season with his knee problems, but they're saying his career may indeed be over. Coming up next as we continue our NBA news segment. Once again, the Nets underway at Charlotte tonight, and we'll take a look in to see how they're doing.
NCS Canada Knicks game night is brought to you in part by your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer. There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer. And by Payne Weber. When you invest with Payne Weber, you invest with more intelligence.
And Ward pumps it down to Ewing, running the floor to Pete Bowling.
You're watching MSG Network.
We're all over it.
Would you like a better paying job? Professional Career Development Institute can train you at home in just a few months for one of America's 15 top career opportunities. Whether your dream is to be your own boss or to work for an employer, call for free literature on any one of America's top career choices. Train at home for the job you've always wanted and earn this nationally recognized diploma. Take a look at PCDI's exciting career opportunities. Medical transcription, paralegal, veterinary assistant, computer training, fitness and nutrition, interior decorating, electrician, child daycare, conservation outdoors, travel agent, locksmithing, medical dental office assistant, home inspection, bookkeeping, accounting, or get your high school diploma. Call for free literature on the career of your choice.
In the U.S. and Canada, call 1-800-372-2552. Get free literature on one of these 15 careers. That's 1-800-372-2552. Earn more money. Call 1-800-372-2552. Call now.
Nobody knows more about homes than Century 21 Home Improvement. Hi there, I'm Carrie Whitaker, and a few days ago, this was a tired old kitchen. Hard to believe, but thanks to a process called cabinet refacing, Century 21 Home Improvements has made it beautiful again for substantially less than custom kitchen remodeling. This video explains everything, and it's free.
Game tonight without Matt Geiger. Was placed on the injured list yesterday, underwent surgery on a herniated disc today, out the next 2 months. Glenn Rice, with 1 second left of the shot clock, drains that triple in the first quarter. He had 10 points in the quarter alone, and now time running down in the opening stanza. Kerry Kittles will answer with a three-pointer of his own, and the Nets actually led the game 30-27 going into the second quarter. Again, right now it is tied up. These other contests underway so far tonight in the NBA. The Chicago Bulls, their latest winning streak is 7 in that 32-4 record, playing at Minnesota against Tom Gugliotta, Stephon Marbury, and the Timberwolves. Philadelphia 76ers' latest losing streak is 9 straight, and they're going down already big time. 47-30 to lowly Golden State in the second quarter. The Sixers today signed Adrian Caldwell, who was just cut by the Nets, and Orlando Dallas also underway. And the 6 contestants for the annual NBA Slam Dunk Contest over the All-Star Weekend this year in Cleveland today were named. They are ex-UConn star Ray Allen, who will be competing against the likes of Allen Iverson, Michael Finley, Kobe Bryant, Chris Carr, and Cleveland Cavs guard Bob Sura, something for the hometown fans. So stay tuned when we close out on MCS Cannon Knicks game night. We take a look at tonight's starting lineups for the Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs.
This Day in Knicks history is brought to you by Tommy Hilfiger, the classic American designer.
January 15th, 1985. Trent Tucker sets an NBA record by hitting this shot, his 10th straight three-pointer. Tucker was perfect from downtown during this 9-game stretch. While no longer an NBA record, this still stands as a Knicks record, and Tucker is currently ranked second on the Knicks' all-time three-point field goal list.
This Day in Knicks history has been brought to you by Tommy Hilfiger, the classic American designer.
She knew where she was headed, and it wasn't to a big girl.
Over time, an American Express service. Plus, discounts at the Garden at restaurants and on Knicks merchandise. A free gift just for using the card. You can even win prizes like a skybox seat to a Knicks game. So apply for your Knicks credit card from American Express. Call 1-800-KNICKS now, because there's just one thing to say about a credit card this great. American Express helps Knicks fans do more.
The New York Yankees are champions. All the remarkable stories of the Yankees' 1996 season are showcased in the video, Pinstripe Destiny, sponsored by MSG. You'll see clutch pitching, game-saving defense, and incredible heroics. To order for $19.95 plus shipping, use your credit card and call 1-800-225-2377. That's 1-800-225-2377. Also available where videos are sold.
MCS Service and Canon Technology. Let us show you the possibilities.
Bob Page closing out Knicks game night tonight as we take a look at the starting lineups unofficially. We have not yet heard anything about the status of Larry Johnson, who, as you know, has been out with back problems. So we think we'll see the rookie from Syracuse out of Rochester, New York, John Wallace, again in LJ's spot, flanked by Patrick Ewing in the middle, and Charles Oakley looking for a better game tonight than he had against Charles Barkley last night. Then in the backcourt, Chris Childs and Allen Houston. And speaking of Houston, we check the San Antonio starting lineup, some familiar names from the Rockets team, which beat the Knicks in the NBA Finals a couple years back. Carl Herrera will go at one forward. Will Perdue in the middle, whom the San Antonio Spurs so brilliantly acquired from Chicago, amazingly, even up for Dennis Rodman. Monty Williams, the former Knick, at the other forward. Vernon Maxwell off that Rockets championship team at one guard. And then Avery Johnson, from whom we heard a short time ago, at the point guard position for the San Antonio Spurs. So stay tuned as the Knicks take on the Spurs next here on MSG.
MCS Cannon Knicks game night has been brought to you by MCS Cannon. Let us show you the possibilities. And by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, who remind you fresh beer tastes better.
Neither rain, nor mud, nor ruts and ridges, nor rocks and rivers, nor sleet nor snow shall keep a new Toyota 4Runner from keeping you from your appointed rounds. Power you need, and all the room and comfort you want. And with a starting price around $20,000, it could take your dollar even further.
You've got a lot to plan for. Retirement. College. Now there's City Select mutual funds to make smart investing simple. City Select funds combine stocks, bonds, and cash to give you a full level of diversification in one smart investment. And it's simple because there's 4 choices, from relatively conservative to more aggressive. Make smart investing simple. City Select. Only through Citicorp Investment Services at Citibank. Call now. The city never sleeps.
The McDonald's challenge is on. The Big Mac and Crispy Chicken Deluxe are half price while Patrick Ewing and Sean Bradley battle to prove which is the champ. Ewing is in the Big Mac's corner. He loves the 2 all-beef patties, the special sauce, the classic Big Mac taste. Bradley goes for the grown-up lettuce and tomato taste of the Crispy Chicken Deluxe. Get into the challenge at McDonald's today. Everyone you buy is a vote for your favorite. And right now, they're both half price. Hurry, these guys need your help.
Witness the most spectacular sunrise in the world. You won't find it in the desert or on the boardwalk. Only here. Greet the Mohegan Sun, a casino unlike anything you have ever imagined. Step into a bold new world where every detail is designed for the ultimate in non-stop excitement. Come, find your place in the sun. Discover the Mohegan Sun Casino, now open. 1 mile off Interstate 395 in Uncasville, Connecticut.
It's back. Classic rock. The new Classic Q, 104.3.
The following is a presentation of the Madison Square Garden Network. MSG, we're all over it. The Knicks' hopes of beginning their road trip on a high note were blown away in a 20-point pounding by the Houston Rockets, who were fueled by more than a little hot air by Charles Barkley. While using Charles Oakley as a verbal dartboard throughout the night, Charles was in charge of the Rockets' attack. He poured in 24 of his 29 points in the first half and left Oakley and the Knicks speechless along the way. The San Antonio Spurs have their own problems, starting with David Robinson. The Spurs expected the Admiral to lead them to another successful season, following 62 and 59 win campaigns the last 2 years. But Mr. Robinson's neighborhood has centered around the Spurs bench this season, as he has played in just 6 games due to injuries. As a result, Coach Bob Hill became a casualty, fired by Gregg Popovich. And since Robinson was re-injured, the losses for the Spurs have mounted under Popovich. Tonight, the Knicks travel to the Alamo to face the San Antonio Spurs. We welcome you to the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas, as we get ready for the New York Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs, about to meet for the first of 2 times this season. A check of the standings. Midwest Division, San Antonio 9 and 25. They lost only 23 games all of last season. They are 17 and a half games back, while the Knicks come in at 26 and 10, and they are tied with Miami for that Atlantic Division lead. Hi, everybody. Marv Albert along with Walt Clyde Frazier, subbing for John Andres, who is on special assignment, actually auditioning for a role in a Nickelodeon series. We'll have more on that later on. Last night in Houston, the Knicks were walloped by the Houston Rockets, and after the game, Jeff Van Gundy was particularly upset with the energy level, the lack of aggression. He said he just didn't like the demeanor of the team, and you wonder what effect does that have coming into a game tonight against a club that is decimated by injury.
Well, the Knicks historically have handled adversity very well. So I think tonight they're going to be galvanized for this game. Last night they were obviously humiliated on a national TV crowd looking in. And the Knicks coming off the way they had been playing, Marv, you would expect more against one of the premier teams in the West.
All right, and the Spurs, with that record of 9 up and 25 down, they have dropped 5 straight games, but this is a team that has been just destroyed by injuries. Look at the injury list. David Robinson, Chuck Person, Dominique Wilkins, former Knick Charles Smith is out. Now, Sean Elliott will return this evening after missing the past 4 games due to sore knees, but this, in effect, has been a lost season for the Spurs, although as it turns out, because the West is so weak, they are still alive for a playoff berth.
Right, and they're slowly getting their players back. Elliott, their top gun right now, averaging 15 a game. But this team has epitomized Murphy's Law. What could go wrong did go wrong, and I made sure that I didn't walk past their locker room coming out here.
A good move on your part, Clyde. So it's the Knicks and the Spurs coming up in just a moment here on MSG. We'll be back with the lineups after this.
For you.
I'll set up a meeting for you with one of our CPAs. Together we can...
The way. Every day, AT&T helps thousands of businesses, big and small, search for information, send email, and set up websites where they can do business with their customers. So whether you're a little kahuna or a big kahuna, grab your board and hop on. AT&T. It's going to be a great ride.
Welcome to Park Avenue, a place of quiet power.
Out there, which means we've landed at Delta's Frankfurt terminal, one of the brightest terminals in the world. When I say bright, I don't mean lighting, I mean the Delta Redcoats.
This way on the left-hand side. Nach links kommt zum GTD 1.
Excuse me, currency exchange?
Excuse me, where's the bathroom, please?
See the little man on that door over there?
These Delta Redcoats know everything. Excuse me, low-fat Wiener Schnitzel?
Third restaurant down the hall.
Is it brilliant in here or what?
New York Knicks basketball is brought to you by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, who reminds you fresh beer tastes better. By the American Express card. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, American Express helps you do more. By Delta Airlines. You'll love the way we fly. By Citibank. For banking anytime, anywhere, any way you choose. At Citibank, the city never sleeps. And by Nobody Beats the Wiz Home Entertainment Center. St. John's heads for Pittsburgh to battle the Panthers in a Big East Conference showdown Saturday night on MSG2.
The City Hawks have landed. Starting this spring, New York's newest pro football team debuts at the Garden. Witness the power and excitement of arena football, where you're not just at the game, you're in the game. Tickets are on sale now at the Garden box office and by calling Ticketmaster. For season subscriptions, call 212-465-6073. You don't have to wait for fall for football.
Can cause serious injury, and violations are subject to ejection and arrest.
Back in San Antonio, the Spurs and the Knicks getting ready. The San Antonio Spurs only 5-10 here at home. And the losing streak, the latest losing streak is now 5 games, 4 of the 5 on the road. Closed captioning is brought to you by Empire Blue Cross and Blue Shield, the best of health. And we're set for the introduction of the starting lineup.
And one forward, 6'9", from Virginia Union, number 34, Charles Oakley. The forward, 6'9", from Syracuse, number 44, John Wallace. At one guard, 6'3", from Boise State, number 1, Chris Childs. The other guard, 6'6", from Tennessee, number 20, Allen Houston. And at center, 7 foot from Georgetown, number 33, Patrick Ewing. Head coach for New York is Jeff Van Gundy, assisted by Don Chaney, Brenda Malone, Jeff Nicks, and Tom Thibodeau. Trainers Mike Saunders and Tim Walsh. Introducing tonight's Pizza Hut ball boy from Anson Jones Middle School, 5'11", Jeremiah Flowers. Welcome. 21, Will Perdue. Head coach for the Spurs.
Now there is the head coach and general manager of the Spurs, Gregg Popovich's 17th game since taking over from Bob Hill. His record is 6 up and 10 down. Earlier we talked with Gregg and asked what are his major concerns in going up against the Knicks tonight.
I think more than anything what I'm concerned about is defensive transition, because I think the big guys for New York are great in transition. They really post up on the block. They get a lot of easy buckets in early transition. And if we can stop that at all and find some way to get some half-court offense, maybe we can stay in this game.
Gregg Popovich, who says being general manager and coach is impossible. He says he will give up one of the positions next season, has 2 years remaining on the contract after this season.
It was dubious as to why he became the coach in the first place. Bob Hill, 2 years ago, they led the league in victories, 62 wins. Last year, over 50. And obviously, the team was decimated by injuries. Why would he take over?
And there was some question about the timing because Bob Hill was fired right as David Robinson was making his return from injury, although he is out once again. And the thought was that perhaps, as you look at David checking out the action here tonight, perhaps management did not want to see Hill get on a run because they were intent on letting him go.
Talking to Toby Dietrich, their TV analyst, he said it's because Hill was not grooming the bench players. And Popovich felt that anyone can win 50 games with this team, but what would they do in the playoffs?
All right, the officials, F.T. Rush, Joe DeRosa, and Sean Corbin. Well, they had difficulties last night in Houston in the opening tip and tossing the ball, a couple of stolen taps. And this one controlled by the Spurs. Avery Johnson, guarded by Chris Childs. Sean Elliott making his return. Elliott being played by John Wallace. Wallace in the starting lineup again for the injured Larry Johnson, out with that pulled hamstring. And a foul is called.
Looks like Wallace was pushing off with his hand. Oakley raising his hand.
Well, foul is called on Oakley. And here is Maxwell. Allen Houston. And off the rejection, Avery Johnson moves back down. Correction on that first foul, it was Wallace. Made a change, Oakley raising the hand, and he was charged, and it is back to Wallace as a point-out flag. We are just underway in the Alamo City, the Knicks and the Spurs. Shot clock down to 4. Ewing putting the move on for Purdue. Beautiful play by Maxwell.
Maxwell 6'4", an excellent defender. Purdue hounding Ewing as well, so Maxwell blocks it, but the Knicks retain it.
And 1 second put back on the shot clock. 1 second remaining on the 24. Wallace will inbound. Ewing. Well, they got the ball in, but Ewing not able to hit off glass.
He was too concerned about the clock rather than focusing on the hoop.
Here's Elliott for 3. And Oakley with the rebound.
Good D by the Knicks, forcing the San Antonio Spurs to the perimeter.
And Avery Johnson says, let's take it slowly. Minute and a half gone by in this first quarter, and we have no score. Here's Maxwell for 3.
Maxwell among the career leaders in threes made and attempted. That time, no one denied him on the left side.
Brother Maxwell, a question mark. He had twisted his ankle in practice on Monday, but remaining in the starting lineup. They double up on Ewing, who tried to get it to Oakley, broken up by Herrera. Carl Herrera wearing the face mask. Suffered a injury to his nose and cheekbone about 6 weeks ago. And has gone to the face mask, says he's been playing better since he put it on. Offensive foul as Ewing got involved with Purdue.
So both teams disoriented early on. Ill-advised foul by Ewing, so the Spurs have it.
The San Antonio Spurs last season won 59 and lost 23. They won the Midwest. In the playoffs, knocked off Phoenix, but in the Western Conference semifinals, lost to Utah in 6. Will Purdue on the rebound.
Follies have begun, early follies here.
Knicks have not scored, and we play 2.5 minutes. 3-0 San Antonio on the three-pointer by Maxwell. Wallace on the strip. Try to lead Oakley, and it's picked off. John Wallace with some costly turnovers early last night that limited his playing time. Jeff Van Gundy going with a 3-guard offense in that second half. Avery Johnson. Will Purdue. Shot clock at 5. Johnson tried to get it down low, but it was deflected, and back comes Child. Not much happening at either end.
A dismal beginning for both teams.
Wallace posting up, and he's held by Elliott.
Wallace, I like, folks, because as a rookie, normally they're not that aggressive inside and knowing how to get to the free throw line, but he's mastered both early on.
John Wallace had the big, there's an alley-oop for Wallace, set up by Oakley, and the Knicks with their first bucket.
Wallace, very long arm, 6'8", exquisite pass from the opening.
Elliott off the head fake. Nice roll by Sean Elliott.
Always a cardinal sin whenever you give up the baseline. That time the Knicks culpable, allowing him to penetrate the left baseline.
Spurs 5 and the Knicks 2. Sean Elliott has sat out the last 4 games with a knee problem. Oakley in a battle with Elliott down low, and the foul is called. It's against Oakley.
Overzealous on the low post, throwing Elliott out of the way, so the Spurs will bring it up.
Strong comments last night after the game by Charles Oakley, who severely, by Charles Barkley, who severely outplayed Charles Oakley. Oakley with only 2 rebounds in the game, and Barkley just took it over, but Oakley would not get involved with the statements made by Barkley.
Or would he get involved in the game?
And it's tipped home by Purdue.
The Knicks been exploited in the paint now. Previous Elliott, this time Purdue.
That was intended for Ewing. And Jeff Van Gundy upset, calling an immediate, an early timeout at 20, with the Spurs leading by the score of 7-2. I don't think that this is what Jeff had in mind coming off the poor effort last night.
Watch Herrera break down the defense. Ewing has to contend it and left Purdue there to tip it in. And we mentioned giving up the baseline. Wallace the culprit. But watch the Matador D right there. 2 Knicks allowing him to swoop to the hoop.
So the Spurs with a 7-2 lead. Last night, season low, 29 rebounds by the Knicks. Outscored in the second quarter, 33-19, as the Rockets able to break it open, led by 20 at the half. And the turnovers again hurting the Knicks. 13 in the first half, leading to 18 points by the Rockets.
And this one unforced by Charles. If Ewing was on the low post, wasn't looking for the pass, Charles threw it away. Van Gundy wanted to talk to his lethargic team, so now the Spurs have it.
Well, why do you think this club has turnover problems?
They're just too lackadaisical. They might see a shirt, a white shirt, and they try to pass the ball. They try to make 2 precision passes, throwing through the defensive players. So just ill-advised passes by them. Previously like the one by Childs.
So lack of concentration,
yeah.
And a couple of guys not noted for the good hands on this club too.
Especially Ewing, you can't give him a bullet type pass.
Now some pressure by the Knicks. Elliott's pass broken up, and Ewing not able to hold on, and it carries out of bounds.
Both teams seem very tentative on the offense. The Knicks are playing good defense, but except when they get inside in the paint. They've been exploited twice now by the Spurs.
So former Knick Monty Williams, walk into your picture. Monty coming off the bench. Herrera is going up for the shot, changed his mind. Purdue with another opportunity.
Good persistence by the 7-foot Purdue, and he comes up with the stuff.
The Spurs 9 and the Knicks 2.
3 consecutive hoops in the paint area for the Spurs.
Allen Houston trying to find the range. He has missed on his first 3 shot attempts. And now a timeout taken. Gregg Popovich calling for time with just under 7 minutes remaining first quarter. And it's the Spurs up 9-2.
St. John's head for Pittsburgh to battle the Panthers in a Big East Conference showdown Saturday night on MSG2. Still showroom.
We're gonna get you the best automotive deal. It's Eastville. Eastville. Who's gonna get you in the right set of wheels? It's Eastville. Eastville. So for a Chevrolet or Geo, come and get us a try. Cause we don't want to sell you, we'll just help you buy. It's Eastville. Eastville.
Now lease a loaded 4-wheel drive Blazer, just $289 a month.
At Eastville.
So you finally solved your hair loss problem. It looks very versatile. You can play in it.
Hoo-ah.
You can work in it. You can even get it wet. We have a better solution. Cordero Surgical Hair Restorations. We provide the latest surgical techniques that permanently restore your own hair safely. Call 1-800-585-4505 for your free consultation. Cordero Surgical Hair Restorations. We have a better solution.
5, 4, 3, 2. It started. The countdown to the 1997 New York Saints' next game's begun. And you can be a part of all the high-scoring, board-smashing action. The Saints fire up against the Rochester Nighthawks. It all breaks loose this Saturday night, 8 o'clock at the Nassau Coliseum. $12 gets you in to see how hot the action really gets. Tickets are on sale now at the Coliseum box office or Ticketmaster. Saints Lacrosse, presented by Bud Light. Indoors. Intense. In your face.
Well, the San Antonio Spurs off to a 9-2 start, and Clive, they've done it off the boards, out-rebounding the Knicks 6-3.
Here, Purdue, not known for his hustle or muscle, comes up with the stuff shot.
Knicks remain the same following the timeout. Here's Ewing over Purdue. Rebounded by Herrera.
Knicks not getting any second opportunity.
Carl Herrera, a player who in the past has given the Knicks a problem. Herrera, one-time member of the Houston Rockets, along with Vernon Maxwell, not able to hit that shot. We're just about at the midway point of this first quarter, and the Knicks with only 2 points to show for it. Here's Houston. Just a brutal start by the Knicks.
Houston now 0-4. He missed that one, the baseline. He needs to drive more, Marv. I think he relies too much on his perimeter shot.
And the Knicks are now 1 of 8 from the field. John Starks getting set to check in. Maxwell. That flip rejected, and last touch by the Knicks. 3 on the shot clock. Here's Starks coming on for Wallace.
Starks in to try to ignite this stagnant Knick offense now. Only John makes something happen, whether it be good or bad.
Herrera looking for the shot, bottled up, 24-second violation.
And he wasn't cognizant of the shot clock. He should have taken the shot as soon as he received the pass. I think the mass is bothering him.
It's 1 of 8, Spurs 4 of 12. It has not been pretty basketball, although the Spurs certainly delighted with the 9-2 lead, the way things have been going for San Antonio this season.
Knicks start reminiscent of last night's game.
And a foul is called as Ewing made the move across the lane. Foul on Will Purdue, the one-time member of the Chicago Bulls, spent 7 years with Chicago, a member of their championship teams in 91, 92, and 93. Ewing had it stripped. Batted away by Herrera, good defensive player.
Spurs averaging 8 steals a game, but the Knicks now making it easy for them by their lack of fluidity.
And it was turnover number 5, leading to that. The bucket by one-time Nick, Monty Williams.
Another bucket in the hoop, in the paint as well. Ewing must assert himself.
Ewing with the pass to Oakley, yes, and it counts. So Oakley will go to the line. Nice pass, good setup from Ewing.
So Oakley is 79% shooter from the line. So watch this. They finally get some movement here. Oakley going through and drawing the foul and trying to complete the conventional three-point play now. Again, Oakley, Monty Williams was the culprit.
That ended an 8-0 run by San Antonio. And the Spurs lead 11-5.
Now an ill-advised foul by Childs in the backcourt. The Knicks lead the league in personal fouls, so the Spurs will have it.
And for the Knicks, their second team foul. San Antonio coming off a Saturday night tough loss in Atlanta. Lost to the Hawks in overtime, 87-82. Atlanta in its first straight overtime game on Saturday, and they won all 3 of them. Herrera for 3. Just under 5 minutes remaining. First quarter. Marv Albert, Walt Frazier from the Alamo Dome. San Antonio. Bad pass, a look away by Oakley. Maxwell stopped from behind. Starks able to break it up.
You asked me earlier, Marvin, why they were so incompetent with the passes. That's why. Why try a look-away pass in that scenario?
One of those situations where if you complete it, it looks terrific, but it's so low percentage, as we have seen over the years with Charles Oakley.
Both teams lacking harmony on the offense.
Avery Johnson met by the double team. Herrera again fires one up. That one was off glass.
Atrocious game thus far.
So you're really enjoying yourself, John. Monty Williams with the rejection on Patrick Ewing, kept alive by the dive of Allen Houston. The shot clock is down to 7. Here is Ewing, and he drew the contact. Foul committed by Purdue.
Monty 6'8", rejecting Ewing's shot. That brought the crowd. They finally came alive, but then Ewing, of course, knowing that Will Purdue is very gullible for the head fakes, got inside to draw the foul. Watch William come down the lane. Excellent timing to block the shot.
Monty Williams, originally a #1 draft pick of the Knicks, and then dealt to San Antonio in a deal involving Charles Smith, J.R. Reed, Brad Lohaus last February. Here comes Cadillac Anderson along with Vinny Del Negro. Monty Williams last 4 games. And he was starting until tonight, averaging 12.5 per game over the last 4, shooting 48%, getting the playing time, just under 33 minutes per game, and a lane violation called on the Spurs, so Ewing will get another crack at it.
We've seen that quite frequently this season against the opposition. It's inexplicable to never step in the lane too quickly, so Ewing looking to capitalize.
4 minutes to go in this first quarter. The Spurs 11 and the Knicks 7.
Spurs 2 obscene shots lately by Herrera. They're looking for offense here.
And here's Del Negro for 3. Ewing able to lunge for the rebound. Child pushing it down. Avery Johnson able to close the lane. Ewing operating against Herrera. And no angle on the shot. Oh, firing a brick off a layoff attempt. Here's Johnson. Unbelievable shooting that we're seeing in this first quarter. The Knicks now 2 of 12. And Starks hammers it down. And the Spurs are just 5 of 17.
They've missed their last 4 shots. So they're looking for a leader on the offense.
But the Knicks are now within 2.
Excellent job. You see the Knicks keeping them behind the three-point arc. That's 22 feet away.
Herrera with another miss. And Allen Houston able to drive drive the lane to tie the game at 11.
He should do more of that. When his shot is not going from the perimeter, you must penetrate. That time, a nice move by Allen.
The Knicks with a 9-0 run to tie the game. 2.5 remaining, first quarter.
Actually, Del Negro, the only offensive threat out there, along with Williams.
Monty Williams coming up short.
He showed no confidence in that shot, aiming it.
And a foul is called against the Spurs as a timeout is taken. Sean Elliott getting set to check back in. 2:19 left in this first quarter. The game tied at 11.
W1 by Raymond Weil. The cutting edge in time. Time for the next generation. W1 by Raymond Weil.
Many of you are getting the AT&T One rate plan.
I just got that plan.
I'm with that dime plan.
It's not a dime all the time to everyone, you know.
It's not?
No, only one person.
What about everybody else?
7 a.m. to 7 p.m. weekdays, it's a quarter.
It's so complicated.
Well, the AT&T One rate plan is very simple.
How simple?
Calls from home, one low rate to anybody in America, anytime, no restrictions.
I'm switching to AT&T.
All right, so we're making a little progress.
No restrictions, no games. The AT&T One rate plan. Rome, castles haunted by history. On the Learning Channel, revealing.
Remember, when you're having good times with good friends, drink responsibly. Because when friends know when to say when, a reminder from your friends at Budweiser. Allen Houston penetrating inside, a rare penetration move and off the hoop. The Spurs, without Robinson, not an intimidating team.
And the last 2 minutes, 14 seconds of this first quarter, the Knicks with a 9-0 run, so they've tied the game at 11. Poor shooting by both teams at this point. Just before the timeout, Cadillac Anderson of the Spurs called for the foul, so Patrick Ewing at the line. Ewing 2 for 2 from the free throw line. He's missed his first 5 field goal attempts.
And he's had some easy opportunities right in the paint area as well as the Oak man, but they did not capitalize. Ewing has been marvelous, though, from the line recently, Mark, shooting over 85%.
And as you say that, comes up short. Knicks able to get to the ball. Childs for Ewing.
And he was 6 feet away, could not can that one.
Patrick Ewing 0 for 6 from the field. Buck Williams getting set to check in for the first time.
So the Knicks on a 10-0 run is always because of their defense. Swarming Nick D now, another turnover.
And here comes Buck Williams. Coming on for Patrick Ewing. 3 points, all from the line by Ewing.
Williams continues to play superbly, averaging 6 points, 5 bounds. Most of his bounds on the offensive glass.
Child setting it up. Oakley. Ah! And there's an offensive rebound by Buck Williams.
Cadillac Anderson did not box him out.
Nice look. Oakley able to convert, and the Knicks by 3 points, 14-11.
Spurs are not communicating on the defense. Oakley uncontested.
San Antonio Spurs with 5 straight losses, 4 of those 5 on the road, including losses in Boston and to the Nets in New Jersey. As Elliott caught that pass, we got the whistle for an illegal defense. First violation on the Knicks. So that is the warning. They get the new 24.
Second one in the penalty, so Spurs retain it.
And as you can see, San Antonio has not scored in over 4 minutes.
And their defense also porous now because of their lack of offense.
play it off the double team. Takes it out to Johnson. Avery Johnson trying to give it back. Picked off by Allen Houston. Has a 3-on-1. Houston all the way.
Very selfish. He had people open. Wouldn't relinquish the ball.
El Negro met by Williams on a switch. And here's Johnson. Avery Johnson bringing the Spurs within one.
Previously, Houston had a 3-on-1. Should have gotten the ball to the center of the court. I thought separately he took it to the hoop, missed it. And then Avery Johnson come back. He had 2 consecutive turnovers before drilling that jumper.
And Allen Houston had a tough angle also on that 3-on-1 break. Charlie Ward is getting set to come on. Here's Houston for 3. Allen Houston from downtown. That's his second field goal. He has 5 points. Knicks lead by 4.
He's a 37% shooter from downtown.
And we're final seconds of this first quarter.
The Knicks have a foul to give here.
Down to 5. Herrera. Wild shot in it. It carried home.
Finally.
So after 1 quarter, it's the Knicks 17 and the Spurs 15. A look at the final seconds as Herrera was able to release it, bank it off glass, and got the roll. We'll be back in San Antonio in a moment.
They meet to claim the title, but only one will conquer for pride and country. Undefeated. Undefeated. Together, they've knocked out a small army, but when the smoke clears, only one will survive. January 18th at the Thomas and Mack Arena in association with Caesars Palace. Call now to order De La Hoya Gonzalez, a fight for pride and country. Brought to you by Budweiser, the undisputed king of beers. This Bud's for you.
The golden age of small business has arrived, and with it, the Gold Corporate Optima card, new from American Express. It allows you to extend payments to manage your cash flow with a low introductory APR of 8.9% and a credit line of up to $20,000, all with no annual fee. It's the perfect match for today's small businesses. The Gold Corporate Optima card. Let American Express give you the power to do more.
Some people look at winter as a real adventure. Some people don't. Guess where he falls. Drive a Toyota Tacoma truck and you'll be smiling all winter long. 4-wheel drive and Toyota dependability can tame even the worst weather. This month, save up to $1,500 on Tacoma with factory-to-dealer incentives. Save up to $3,000 on a full-size T100. Don't wait to be grounded. See your Toyota dealer now, because they love to make you smile.
You have the perfect shot, the perfect moment, but the flash doesn't go off. Next time, use Energizer brand batteries from Nobody Beats the Wiz.
New York Knicks basketball is brought to you in part by American Express. Wherever you are, whatever you are doing, American Express helps you do more. By Foot Locker, where it all begins. And by Toyota. I love what you do for me. Toyota.
Welcome back to San Antonio. Looking ahead to next week, the Knicks and the Chicago Bulls, and that will be the debut of S+ WBIS television. We suggest you check your local listings. The Knicks and the Bulls will get it going. Our coverage with the pregame show hosted by Mike Crispino, starting at 7:30, and at 8 o'clock, Johnny Hoops and myself will bring it to you as the Knicks take on the Chicago Bulls from the United Center in Chicago. Second quarter is underway. Buck Williams with another rebound off the offensive glass. The Knicks with a 17-15 lead. They closed out the first quarter with a 15-4 run after the bad start, and a foul is called. Buck Williams and Cadillac Anderson having words.
Because Williams has been mauling him on the offensive glass. 2 offensive bounds by Buck. Anderson 6'10", 250. Williams 6'7", about 235. But Buck getting the better of Cadillac. Here you see him here jostling underneath. There you go. It became entwined. Cadillac did not like that.
And the foul was called on Anderson, his second. Here's Childs. Yes, Chris Childs extends to a 19-15 lead.
The intangibles of Charles Oakley, that time setting a good screen. The defense went behind the screen. Childs making them pay.
In the first quarter, the Knicks shot only 6 for 19. The Spurs 7 for 21.
Yeah, tumultuous first quarter for both teams. The Knicks also 6 turnovers.
And there's Charlie Ward getting a hand in on Corey Alexander, who came in a moment ago, replacing Avery Johnson. And Devin Gray, recent addition to the squad, second-year man from Clemson by way of the CBA, signed to a 10-day contract, has checked in. You saw Cadillac Anderson sitting down. Elliott got the step and foul. Foul committed by Williams.
Buck overzealous that time. He had good positioning on Elliott, making him create a shot. So watch this. Oakley, the culprit, though, allowing him to penetrate inside, and there Williams reaching in, charged with the foul. So Elliott, their top gun, averaging 15 points a game.
And Sean Elliott on the line. A 17-4 run by the Knicks. Sean Elliott, who has had his share of injuries, out with a sore knee, making his return tonight. Two-time All-Star. Last year, his best in the NBA, averaged 20 points per game. So Gregg Popovich delighted to have him back in action. Knicks now lead 19-17. We are early in the second quarter. Charlie Ward with a pass off the foot of Corey Alexander. Corey Alexander, a second-year man from Virginia, first-round draft pick last season by the Spurs.
So a motley crew of Knicks now trying to get some continuity here.
Well, Starks, Ward, and Childs in a 3-guard setup with Buck Williams and Charles Oakley. Starks for 3.
Oh, Williams, another offensive down.
Buck with 3 rebounds, all on the offensive end. Here's Ward. Oh, beautifully done.
But the rebounds by Williams giving them the second opportunity.
Knicks lead 21-17.
Spurs, look at him standing around. It's easy to defend you this way. No movement.
Monty Williams and Charlie Ward able to haul down that rebound. Here's Childs. Yes. Chris Childs hitting his last 2 jump shots. Knicks now lead 23-17.
So Williams controlling the glass, and the 3-guard offense now giving the Knicks some momentum.
Timeout called by the Spurs. 9:59 remaining. First half.
The Knicks battle the Suns after MTS Cannon game night, Saturday night on MSG.
Feeling stressed out? Is that nagging back pain acting up again? Now you can experience a complete and relaxing massage with the Body Back Plus Massager. While its thick, soft cushion offers support, 5 independent motors massage all major stress points and tired muscle groups. You can even use the cycle mode, sending massage pulses up and down your entire body. Adjust the speed and intensity of the massage for the ultimate in relaxation. Choose a slow, gentle massage to soothe and comfort, or a stimulating, vibrant massage to revitalize. Other massagers cost hundreds or even thousands, but through the special TV offer, you can order the Body Back Plus for just 4 easy payments of $19.95. And if you call right now, you'll also receive this car adapter absolutely free. Now you can have a massage even in your car. Body Back Plus is also available with soothing heat for just 1 extra payment of only $19.95. Body Back Plus works anywhere, anytime you need it. Have your credit card ready and call 1-800-750-0975 or send $79.80 plus $14.95 shipping and handling to Body Back Plus, P.O. Box 910, Department 16, Gardnerville, Nevada.
Stop squeezing me! Stop squeezing me! You think I was a dime, not 100, the way these guys at Franklin Square Ford squeeze everything out of me to make deals with their customers. In my day, there were no cars, and now they're squeezing me to give great deals on brand new Fords, new conversion vans, and quality pre-owned cars at Franklin Square Ford. The way they squeeze me makes me want to go fly a kite. Franklin Square Ford, 690 Hempstead Turnpike, Franklin Square.
Well, the Knick defense helping turn things around here in the second quarter.
Spurs helping them. They're too stagnant, no movement, so the Knicks smothering them. Ward averaging 3 rebounds a game, so coming up with this. And also the Spurs vulnerable to transition. Childs the recipient.
The Knicks 23 and the Spurs 17. Sean Elliott met by the double team. Starks tries to tie him up. Vinny Del Negro. Shot clock at 5ers. Alexander. He is a three-point specialist. Has the good touch.
33% shooter. They were in dire need of a hoop that time.
The Knicks now lead by 3. Buck Williams putting the move on Devin Gray and drew the foul.
Williams continues to create havoc with his rebound, and this time his penetration inside. But what's surprising to me, Marv, is when you lack continuity, you want to run more of a motion offense, pass the ball, go away. Both teams looking to post inside.
Buck Williams for New York.
All right, Buck Williams at this end. Sean Elliott down at the San Antonio end of the court. So the Knicks now lead 24-20. The Knicks 10 up, 6 down on the road. They come off a poor performance in Houston last night. Last year, the Knicks and the Spurs split the 2 games. Knicks winning in New York in double overtime, and the Spurs winning here. The Knicks have won 5 of the last 8 against San Antonio. Back comes Starks. John had that look ready to pump it up and changed his mind. And then a foul against the Spurs.
So both teams continue just to be stagnant. And again, when you look to post people inside, that deters your movement. And it makes it easier for the defense to double and triple team you.
Foul on Devin Gray.
He looks a little motion here in the 2-man game.
Childs able to kick it out. Here's Starks for 3. Yes.
Starks always lethal whenever he takes his time and squares up to the hoop.
And the Knicks have their biggest lead of the night, up by 8.
See again, posting Elliott inside, just standing around.
Foul committed by Starks. So the Knicks have picked up the shooting here in the second quarter.
John not allowing Elliott. John only 6'3", Elliott 6'8". Starks always tenacious on the D. See the Spurs, look where their offense is beginning, out at the half-court line. That's why they're the worst scoring team in the league.
They average only 88 points per game. Elliott tried to save it and lost it.
Yeah, their calamity continues.
And Clive, this is a San Antonio team that has lost 15 games by 10 or more points. So they're getting blown out. Not only losing, and they have that record of 9-25, but they have been shellacked. Childs, nice play, setting up Buck Williams, and then a loose ball foul called.
So the Knicks breaking down their D now at will. Previously Ward, this time Childs.
Foul committed by Elliott. That is his second.
I don't know why Buck went up with the left hand rather than the right hand.
Same move that he attempted moments ago. Childs for Ward. Good ball movement. Starks for 3.
Starks feasting now with the jumper. He likes that right side.
John Starks with 8 points. It leads to a San Antonio timeout. The Knicks by 11 with 7:48 remaining in this first half. It is a 20-second timeout taken by the Spurs.
Watch the good continuity here by the Knicks. Childs breaking them down. Ward to Starks, a familiar scenario. So John, the Knicks' career leader in threes, made and attempted switching that one.
John Starks 3 of 5 from the field. He's hit 2 3-pointers. 2 of 2 from downtown, and the Knicks now picking up the shooting just under 40% after the bad start. First quarter, they could not find the hoop. 6 of 19. San Antonio 7 of 21 from the field. Alexander using the screen from Herrera, then it's deflected out by Buck Williams.
But if you look at the Knicks, while they're effective, folks, their offense is starting 15 feet away. Conversely, the Spurs 25, 27 feet out on the perimeter. See where they are? You can't score from that. What are you going to do? Too far away. Even if you come over a screen, it's still 22 feet away.
As a result of throwing up jumpers, that time Alexander able to hit.
So Alexander propelling him. Previously he had a 3 and now the deuce on the left side.
31-22 Knicks. Childs played by Del Negro. Oakley and the ball movement. And this time intercepted by Monty Williams. Vinny Del Negro.
Crowd wanting to get involved. The Spurs won't let them.
Very compassionate crowd despite all the difficulties the Spurs have had. They received an ovation at the start of the game, and Oakley draws the foul and a rare drive to the bucket.
The bulldozer finesse by the Oak man. So Charles working on his post-up game. So watch Oakley. Poor D there. Look at Elliott. That's Oakley only 8 feet away. You can't allow people, hey, Marv, I could come back if they allow me to.
You know, I was thinking the same. No question.
Let me catch the ball 8 feet away.
And I would support that move. Carl Herrera called for the foul.
But that's why the Spurs are allowing the opposition to shoot 46% from the field. The league average only 44%. So their defense without Robertson has suffered as well.
On the subject of your playing days, I know you had actually a twin bill weekend of reunions. Friday night in Boston as part of the throwback weekend with the Knicks and the Celtics in a home-and-home. And then Saturday night, you were back at Southern Illinois, 30th anniversary of that NIT championship team.
Yeah, everyone showed up, Marv. That's weird. It's so reminiscent to what the New York fans have done for that Knicks team that I played on at Southern Illinois. A triumphant return.
Vernon Maxwell is back on the court, able to hit. And the Knicks now lead 32-24. I remember your teammate at Southern Illinois, who you went up against, a member of the Los Angeles Lakers, Dick Garrett.
Yeah.
Was he on hand?
Yeah, he was there. Former first-round pick by the Lakers. He's a little short, though, Marv. Whenever they show him, I'm stealing the ball from him. He doesn't like that.
That's right. NBA Entertainment should be getting a phone call from Garrett. Childs had a force with the shot clock there running down. Monty Williams picking off that pass from Buck Williams. And here's Monty putting moves on.
And again, Buck Williams, no reason to throw the ball. He just lobbed it out. Excellent steal by Williams. They are not related.
And Monty Williams not able to hit.
He's nervous, Marv. I know that feeling playing against his former teammate.
Here is Starks. Monty Williams has a shot. I recall Pat Riley, when he was head coach of the Knicks, would say Monty throws it away. He does not have the good follow-through, particularly with the baseline jump shot. Timeout called. 5:25 remaining first quarter.
Hey, what's happening? I was checking you out from over there. Stay over there. You are so beautiful. Shut up. I was just, maybe you and me. No. Oh, you are so hot. I was dressed on you and your hair and the light coming and seeing you and your eyes. Like, are those sandals? You're an idiot. All right, have a good night.
Now, let me get this straight. What you're saying is all those Delta Sky miles I'm accumulating
Will never expire. Just fly with us once every 3 years.
So 10 years from now, you're still good. Half a century passes.
Still good.
Oh, I'm 104 and I need a vacation.
Have you flown with us once every 3 years?
Absolutely.
Hawaii's nice.
Good morning.
Morning.
What can I do for you?
2 copies, please.
Yesterday, Evelyn Hartwell fulfilled a dream big enough to change her life, small enough to hold in her hand. She got the keys to her first home.
Thank you.
By the way, congratulations.
For a free guide that can help you get a home of your own, call the Fannie Mae Foundation. We're showing America a new way home.
One of several injured members of the San Antonio Spurs, and certainly the key man missing, David Robinson, out with a broken foot and a bad back. Some say he'll be out 6 to 8 weeks, others 8 to 10 weeks. This season, only 6 games played. He's missed 28 games. The perennial all-star, David Robinson, sidelined along with Dominique Wilkins and Chuck Person. Charles Smith, Sean Elliott been out for a while. He's back. Vinny Del Negro was bothered by injuries. Patrick Ewing back on the floor, and he's called for a traveling violation.
Yeah, good call. He shuffled both feet. So Ewing, if he's not going to shoot the ball, should pass it right away.
Will Perdue is also back, so they resume the matchup. Patrick Ewing has had a very tough first half, 0 for 6 from the field, and this coming off a weak game last night in Houston.
Well, not asserting himself in the paint either. Good steal by Williams. He's energized.
Under 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Ewing with a drop step, had to give it up. Good play by Monty Williams. Starks off the mark. Will Perdue with the rebound. Monty Williams off the outlet. Monty Williams running the floor and hitting.
Ward trying to deny him, but to no avail. The Spurs now with some momentum.
4 points for Williams. Knicks by 6. They've led by as many as 11.
The crowd getting involved.
Buck Williams getting deep and goes to the right hand hook. Avery Johnson getting the screen, setting up Monty Williams. Here's Elliott. It is down to a 4-point Knick lead.
Now they're dishing and swishing because they have movement with the ball and moving themselves. Oh, see? This Starks inadvertently, no reason, throws it away.
And that is turnover number 10 by the Knicks. 6-0 run by San Antonio to bring them within 4. Charles Oakley getting set to return. We have 3.5 left in the first half. Marv Albert, Walt Clyde Frazier. Clyde sitting up for John Andres tonight here at the Alamo Dome. Game 2 of the 3-game road trip that will conclude in Phoenix on Saturday. Then the Knicks are back home for an afternoon game on Martin Luther King Day at the Garden. They'll face the Bullets on Monday afternoon, and then things get a bit tougher in Chicago on Tuesday. Then they'll play at Indiana, at Charlotte, and back home for the Miami Heat. Now Negro with the shot clock running down. Ewing hitting the deck and deflected it out.
He and Oakley did not communicate, so the Spurs will get another opportunity. Monty Williams, the former Knick, igniting them, and the Spurs now canning some perimeter shots.
Monty has played well. Monty Williams coming off the bench this evening. He had started the previous 4 games. And they call a hold on Starks. That's his second foul.
Maxwell looking to post him up inside, so Starks holding on to him.
The Knicks with their 3rd team foul. Spurs are over the limit. Just under 3 minutes remaining of the half. They double up on Del Negro. Maxwell. Del Negro shooting.
He's uncontested. Houston too far. Could not get back to him in time.
Knicks trying to get Ewing involved.
Yeah, no moving and grooving by Ewing. You can tell he's out of sync.
Oakley with the pick for Houston. Ward with the open three. And now the Spurs on the move. Maxwell.
Not a good shot. No one back.
And now here comes Houston. Allen Houston is stopped and tied up. Beautiful play by Vinny Del Negro.
Again, Houston would not relinquish the ball. Starks was open on the right side. Houston, watch him draw the two players here. Should pass it now. Starks is open. Previously he did that. He missed a shot inside. Good D by Del Negro. So Del Negro 6'4", Houston 6'6", they will jump. Allen playing very selfish basketball right now.
Chris Childs has returned, replacing Charlie Ward. Cadillac Anderson is back for Will Perdue. Will Perdue these days, the starting center with David Robinson, sidelined by injury. Ewing with a forced pass and picked off.
Ewing just incoherent right now.
Incoherent. Knicks have not scored in 5 minutes of play. 11th turnover committed a moment ago. Shot clock at 5. And a hold on Houston.
Normally when players start playing defense with their hands, they're tired rather than their feet. So previously we saw Starks with his hands on Maxwell. This time Houston the culprit with the foul.
And it's the 4th team foul committed by the Knicks. Knicks have not hit a field goal in over 6 minutes. It has not been a pretty first half. Minute and a half remaining. Ewing putting the move on Anderson and foul. And for Cadillac, it is his 3rd foul. Well, coming up at halftime, the Tri-State Jeep and Eagle halftime report. There's only one Jeep. It's only at your Tri-State Jeep. And Eagle dealer Bob Page will bring us up to date at the sports desk, and we'll take a look back at, well, they're having a few highlights in this first half. Actually, when you look at the highlights, even though it's been a poorly played first half, it looks much better when it's in the condensed version.
And Ewing, one of those players, he's just very tentative out there. This has caused them to turn the ball over and just not moving and grooving on the low post. They have no one to deny him, but he's denying himself.
And for the Knicks, their first points in 5.5 minutes. They had not scored since John Starks had hit that second three-pointer early in the second quarter.
They can't foul now. They're in the penalty.
Carl Herrera cuts it to a 4-point Knick lead as we approach 1 minute left in this first half. Now Houston posting up on Maxwell. Allen Houston not able to hit. Patrick Ewing with his first field goal of the night.
To give Oakley the credit, he kept it alive, and Ewing the beneficiary.
He had missed his first 6 shots. Monty Williams rejected by Ewing. And a foul on Monty Williams.
Well, the Knicks will shoot. Ewing among the leaders in rejection, averaging 2.5. Watch this superb timing. Previously, Williams blocked Ewing's shot. Ewing reciprocates here. But then the foul by Williams, so Childs at the line to shoot.
And Clive, that is his 3rd block of the night.
Chris Childs.
Now look at the leaderboard, as you mentioned. Ewing right there. Sean Bradley over 4 blocks per game, followed by the Kempe Mutombo of the Atlanta Hawks.
Kimbe has led the league the last 3 seasons in the block shots. Bradley doing an outstanding job. Is he out of the hospital with pneumonia? I read he had pneumonia.
I haven't talked to Sean the last couple of days, and we'll check on it.
It's been pretty cold. Maybe he's still ailing. Should be here. The weather was splendid today.
Do you feel, though, that block shots are an overrated statistic? It does not necessarily follow that the teams that have shot blockers.
It's overrated, Marv, because a lot of times they knock it out of bounds, the teams get another chance.
Although you don't mind the occasional block shot. It depends when the shots are blocked. Maxwell, and he draws the foul, so Mad Max will go to the line. Chris Childs called for that foul. I can recall the Cleveland Cavaliers, when they had decent teams, led in that department by Larry Nance and Brad Daugherty. They'd always lead the league in block shots. I mean, they'd make their playoff run, but they were not a great ball club, although they had an impressive array of shot blockers.
Yeah, that's why it's very dramatic when you see shots being blocked, but not a panacea for winning.
Knicks lead 38-31. 26 seconds remaining in the half.
I guess Mutombo proved that, and the Nets are always among the leaders in block shots, as well as Denver when Mutombo is there. Obviously not winning teams.
And Chris Childs running the clock down. Down to 5 on the 24. Ewing. The Knicks bench urging them to take the shot. 24-second violation.
Childs, the culprit, he was dribbling the ball too much, and now when he had nothing to do, he gives it to Ewing. Ewing can't create, so I blame Childs for that.
2.2 seconds to go in this first half. Knicks at 33% from the field, 12 of 36. And the Spurs 13 for 36, 36%. Here's Herrera, and that shot is blocked. So that's the end of the first half. Not a good one here in San Antonio. Neither club pleased with what took place. But the Knicks lead by 6 at halftime. The Knicks 38 and the Spurs 32. We'll be back with our halftime in a moment.
Michael Johnson and 1956 Olympic decathlon champion Milt Campbell right here on the next page 1.
Eastville Showroom. We're gonna get you the best automotive deal. It's Eastville's. Eastville's. Who's gonna get you in the right set of wheels? It's
We have a better solution.
Copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the NBA.
Welcome back to the Alamo City, where the New York Knicks lead the San Antonio Spurs 38-32. You are watching the Tri-State Jeep and Eagle halftime report. There's only one Jeep. It's only at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer. Right now, let's get back to New York. Bob Page at the sports desk.
All right, thank you, Mark. Good evening again, everybody. It's Charlotte tonight. The Nets trying to bounce back from that awful home loss to Orlando Monday in the Meadowlands Arena. They have led throughout, but hold on. It's choke time. It's crunch time for New Jersey. And true to form in the fourth quarter, the Nets are blowing it. They've fallen behind the Hornets, now 101-94 in the late stages. New Jersey tried to put the pressure on early in the fourth. Kendall Gill, who has played terrific basketball of late, 41 on Monday night, a career high, misses. But Eddie O'Bannon, how about that? Back among the living, gets the follow-through. And the Nets led by 10. Here come the Hornets. You knew they would. Ex-Knick Anthony Mason gets the hoop and the call. That tied the game at 89 after the free throw. And now Del Curry pulls up and it's a jump shot. And that put Charlotte ahead, at least for this point, at good. Big East basketball tonight. We'll have Rutgers West Virginia highlights for you on our full half-hour show right after the Knicks game. At the Meadowlands Arena, George Blaney and Seton Hall lost to Syracuse. They never were in this game. Marius Giannoulis hits a three-pointer to give the Orange a 15-point lead in the second half. He topped SU with 17. And then out of Miller Village, Queens, and Christ the King High School, Jason Cipolla with a couple of threes. He had 16 points, later left with a leg injury. No further report. Inside, it's Pleasantville, New York native Otis Hill going up strong for 2 of his 16 points. Jim Boeheim finally wins his first Big East game after going 0-4. The Hall now 2-5 in the conference, 7-8 overall. Some careers were on the line at Giants Stadium today, where Jim Fossil was named new head coach of the Giants. If Fossil fails, George Young's retirement will be hastened. This was his choice, make no mistake. Fossil might never get another crack at being a head coach, and his former protege and now special project, Dave Brown, might be gone too.
Dave has probably struggled the last few years, and I haven't had a great opportunity to study him. You know, people ask me about an opinion of a college quarterback or a pro quarterback, and I like to go into much more detail of studying them. But I think right now Dave needs to get into a situation where he's sure of himself, he's got confidence in himself, he's got confidence in the system, confidence in who's calling the plays, confidence in a lot of things. I've got to build his confidence. I was here when we drafted Dave Brown, okay? I think Dave Brown is an excellent quarterback and can be a lot better than he is, and I plan to go to work. Dave Brown, we drafted a guy that I like, his intelligence, his competitiveness, his athletic ability. It's my job to bring that out in him. That's what I feel like I can do, and that's what I've got to do. It's my job to make him play better.
Also tonight, as we told you earlier, George Seifert forced out as San Francisco 49ers coach Cal Steve Mariucci takes over. Now this.
Introducing the New York Knicks credit card from American Express. Call 1-800-KNICKS now and get the only card that gives you savings, service, and great Knick discounts. Get the savings of no annual fee, this low introductory rate for purchases when you pay your bill over time, and American Express service. Plus, discounts at the Garden at restaurants and on Knicks merchandise. A free gift just for using the card. You can even win prizes like a skybox seat to a Knicks game. So apply for your Knicks credit card from American Express. Call 1-800-KNICKS now, because there's just one thing to say about a credit card this great. American Express helps Knicks fans do more.
Carol?
Walt Frazier, the Knicks with a 38-32 lead on the San Antonio Spurs. A look at the halftime scoring summary brought to you by Jeep Grand Cherokee, the perfect combination of luxury, safety, and ruggedness. Jeep Grand Cherokee. And the Knicks do not have anyone in double figures. John Starks, the high man with 3 of 7 shooting, hit 2 from downtown. Only 7 points for Patrick Ewing. Missed his first 6 shots. 1 of 7 from the field in the first half. 6 apiece for Oakley and Childs. Houston with 5, while the Spurs, led by Vernon Maxwell, with 7 points. 6 apiece for Elliott and Herrera. Neither club exactly burning it up. The Knicks 33% shooting, and the Spurs 35%. There was one good stretch, I thought, for the Knicks in the second quarter, where we finally saw some pretty decent ball movement.
Yeah, they had the 3-guard offense in there. That gave them some good continuity. Stark started to drill some jumpers. Good dishing by Childs and Ward. Also, they were getting penetration, breaking down the Spurs deep.
And the Knicks did do the job on the offensive glass. A look now at the halftime highlights brought to you by Jeep Wrangler, the official top-down, fun in the sun, on and off road vehicle from Jeep.
And we mentioned the Knicks defense always a catalyst for their offense. Good swarming here. Spurs inept early on. Ward averaging 3 bounds, only 6'1". But I just alluded to the continuity that the 3 guards gave the Knicks here. So Ward will find Stark. This is Childs with the jumper this time, the right side. Okay, now Childs, we mentioned, breaking down the defense. Good screen by Oakley. Ward, this time Stark downtown. So the 3 guards now dishing and swishing. So this time Starks will misfire. Former Knick Monty Williams was the catalyst for the Spurs in their run. So he's 6'8", 225, this time creating inside. Ward trying to deny him, but to no avail. And then the Spurs, like the Knicks, getting the penetration. And Maxwell, a lot like John Starks, erratic, dramatic, so he will drill the jump shot.
So the Knicks with only 17 points in the first quarter. The Spurs with 17 in the second. It's a 6-point Knick lead at the half.
Did you reserve the car with Hertz?
Not exactly, but it's a good deal.
Are they as fast as Hertz?
Not exactly, but what's the rush? We're on vacation!
Dad, are we lost? Hertz gives you computerized directions.
Honey, this is not exactly Hertz, okay?
I hope they have the same emergency road service as Hertz.
Not exactly.
In Rent-A-Car, there's Hertz, and there's not exactly. Make sure you choose the right one.
Are you sure this is the way to the hotel?
Not exactly.
Did you hear that?
Old, junky antique shops. I like. You want me to tell you what my Discover card statement says? Just little things that make a girl sing. I have.
Like you enough.
Business for pleasure. Nobody does it exactly like Hertz. By McDonald's. Have you had your break today? And by Nobody Beats the Wiz Home Entertainment Center.
This Day in Knicks history is brought to you by Tommy Hilfiger, the classic American designer.
January 15th, 1985. Trent Tucker sets an NBA record by hitting this shot, his 10th straight three-pointer. Tucker was perfect from downtown during this 9-game stretch. While no longer an NBA record, this still stands as a Knicks record, and Tucker is currently ranked second on the Knicks' all-time three-point field goal list.
This Day in Knicks history has been brought to you by Tommy Hilfiger, the classic American designer.
Welcome back to San Antonio. You've been watching the Tri-State Jeep and Eagle halftime report. There's only one Jeep. It's only at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer. A look at the halftime statistics. Neither club shooting well. The Knicks 12 of 36 for 33%. Spurs at 35% on 13 of 37. Three-point department, Knicks 3 of 10, Spurs 2 of 7. And the Knicks have the edge off the boards, 26-15. And Clyde, as you've been mentioning, they have been doing it, led by Buck Williams on the offensive glass.
But that's an ominous sign because the Knicks have dominated statistics, but are only up by 6.
So the third quarter is underway, and the Knicks open with their usual starting lineup. Childs and Houston in the backcourt, Oakley, Ewing, and John Wallace for the injured Larry Johnson. And Wallace able to hit on a second field goal, so the Knicks now lead by 8. Larry Johnson is still called day-to-day with that pulled left hamstring. Foul is called. Sean Corbin with the call on Wallace.
John Wallace is second. First team foul.
That is the second foul on Wallace. Our Toyota matchup at the center position. Patrick Ewing and Will Perdue. Not much production at either end.
Ewing inept. Missed all of his shots inside, only scoring from the line.
Elliott with the foul. Took a bump as he went baseline.
Well, Wallace is overplaying him for no reason. My philosophy was that when I start the game, if a guy, I give them a perimeter shot. I don't give it to them, but try to force them to take a perimeter shot rather than allowing them to keep me off the dribble.
And Sean Elliott upset. He thought he was in the act, but they say non-shooting foul. Again, Elliott posting up, and then a bad pass, and he's upset with himself. Picked off by Houston. Technical foul. It is on head coach Gregg Popovich, who joined with Sean Elliott in complaining on that last call as they felt that it should have been Elliott going to the line, fouled in the act.
Instead, it's Charles, but I think he's an 81% shooter.
Gregg Popovich, who was an assistant coach under Don Nelson in with the Golden State Warriors for 2 years, and then was named the general manager of the Spurs during the summer of '94. He and Bob Hill had been, I say had been, close friends over the years. It was Popovich who decided that Hill would coach the Spurs 2 seasons ago, but it was Popovich who has now replaced Bob Hill.
And then another good screen by Oakley to free up Charles. Charles finding the range.
Knicks now lead 43-32. We're just underway in the third quarter. Maxwell for three.
Yeah, we're going to see some good ball movement now. Both teams seemed up for the task.
8-point Knick lead. Wallace.
This time a nice shake and bake by the 6'8" Wallace. Again, they are allowing him to catch the ball only 8 feet away. You must front the man when he's that low on the post.
The Knicks lead by 10 points. Herrera for two. And rebounded by Oakley.
Good harassment by Wallace.
Houston. And Allen Houston hits from downtown. The Knicks with a 13-point lead. And San Antonio takes a timeout. Return. Bob Hill with a certainly a different take on the situation, and these are the words of Bob Hill.
You should always look at the history of the franchise, and that's their history. I mean, David's had 7 different coaches, and I was aware of it, but obviously I was told that they were going to change history, and but it didn't come to pass. It was their decision, and quite frankly, I'm fortunate not to be coaching that team because it's not a very good team, and I think he felt that he could coach them, and you know,
best of luck.
Best of luck, yeah.
Well, as I said, they were at one time very close friends. In fact, the families are still friendly. Foul is called as John Wallace goes to the line, followed by Avery Johnson.
Seems like deja vu for the Knicks. Remember last night against the Rockets, opened the third quarter with vim and vigor, 7-0 run. Wallace igniting them now, asserting himself previously to draw the foul.
Bob Hill, the one-time head coach of the Indiana Pacers, was the interim head coach for the New York Knicks, taking over following the departure of Hubie Brown, a very well-regarded man around the league. In fact, he is now serving as a consultant to John Calipari with the New Jersey Nets.
Well, they have 2 banners hanging up there, 94, 95, 95, 96. Midwest Division champions under Bob Hill.
Well, the knock on the Spurs over the years, the fact that they would do well as Maxwell is able to hit another jump shot. It's been a consistent pattern in recent years. Strong regular season for San Antonio, then elimination from the playoffs. The last 6 years featuring 3 first-round exits, a couple of losses in the Western semifinals. Has there been unfair criticism as Wallace is rejected of David Robinson for his play in the playoffs?
No, he's been very lackluster in the playoffs. I think he deserves it.
And Maxwell is fouled.
He has been exploited in the playoffs. Teams have taken and put him on the perimeter, exposed him. Hakeem humiliated him in the previous playoffs, so he's under the fire. Being a soft player, does not play well during the playoffs.
Elliott with a beautiful spin.
So after a dismal first half, both teams now shaking, baking, wheeling, dealing. Good shooting.
8 points for Sean Elliott. The Knicks now lead by 7. They've led by as many as 13. Ewing facing the double team. Houston for 3. Yes.
The dramatic shooting continues for the Knicks. Wallace, now Houston.
11 for Allen Houston. And a Knicks 10-point lead.
See the continuity. Look at the difference now than the first half. No longer standing around. Spurs moving the ball, moving themselves.
Maxwell with the step. And rejected by Wallace, but Purdue is there to collect.
Because Ewing went to the ball, so that left Purdue uncontested underneath.
Knicks 52, Spurs 44.
That's why you want to deny penetrators so they cannot break down the D.
Ewing from way out. Not a good shot.
No, he just said, I got it in my hand. I'm going to shoot it. He needs to get on the low post. Now he's inside.
5 minutes gone by in the third. Here's Houston again. Allen Houston has picked it up here in the third quarter.
Spurs guards are lazy on the defense. They're going behind the screens. They must get over the top.
Elliott on a quick release.
Good old Wallace. He was just standing in the screen. Good screen by Purdue.
Knicks lead by 8. John Starks getting set to check back in. Houston. Yes.
Maxwell a better effort, but to no avail again.
16 for Houston. 11 of the 16 have come in the third quarter, and the Knicks now lead 57-46.
Maxwell retaliates in his face. So Van Gundy upset. He wants to talk it over.
Bernard Maxwell also in a conversation with Allen Houston. Timeout is taken. It's a 20-second timeout called by the Knicks. With 6:10 left in the third, the shooting has come a long way in this third quarter after the poor first half.
Right, but look at the good movement here. Oakley, the good screen. Look at Maxwell. That gave Houston the step that he needed to drill the jumper. But then we saw conversely Maxwell coming back. And now Childs, again, the same play, but again, the guard's just lazy. You must get over the screen with gusto. They're just leaning on those screens.
By any participating AutoZone and register.
Allen Houston with 16 points now, 6 of 13 from the field.
Houston averaging 13 points a game, but he can erupt like this.
He's hit his last 4 shots, 4 of 4 here in the third quarter.
Both teams energized now.
Purdue had it deflected away, last touch by Ewing.
The Knicks need to focus more on the defense. This team only shooting 44% from the field, and the league average is around 45%.
Avery Johnson, Bernard Maxwell in the backcourt. Will Purdue, Carl Herrera, Sean Elliott up front, and Chris Childs complaining that he was being stiff-armed by Avery Johnson. Here is Elliott. Air ball.
Not a good shot. Also, those are the intangibles that Oakley bring. That time coming over, distracting Elliott on that shot.
Ewing, yes. Will Purdue, feeling the contact, fell away trying to draw the foul. And the Knicks now lead 59-49.
Not the prudent thing to do for a 7-footer. You must be aggressive. That's what backcourt men to fall down.
Elliott. And he was pushed. Knicks were looking for a traveling violation. Foul committed by Childs. And the Knicks with their 4th team foul. Vinny Del Negro now checking in.
Elliott creating havoc again along the baseline. He has yet to hit a jumper. Previously, he put up a UFO. So don't allow him to penetrate inside.
Elliott sitting down, departs with 10 points. What a difference. 8 of 12 for the Knicks. 7 of 11 for the Spurs here in the third quarter. Herrera looking for the shot, being played by Ewing, and drives around Ewing, but rejected. Oakley came over to help.
Yeah, he does a splendid job of always helping out inside. Previously, I missed against Elliott. So Herrera, you were very gullible on the perimeter. Leave his feet. Oakley coming to reject the shot.
And here's Herrera feeling the contact, and he was fouled.
But as Marvin and I mentioned previously, blocking shots does not mean you're going to win, because the Oakley blocked it, but the Spurs retained it, and then Herrera penetrated inside to draw a foul. And Knicks are in the penalty, so he will shoot 2.
Allen Houston has accounted for the last 10 Knick points. Houston with a hot third quarter. He's hit 4 for 4, 16 points in all. And the Knicks lead by 10. They have led by as many as 13. Carl Herrera at the line. Venezuela's only NBA player, played in the Olympics and the Pan American Games for Venezuela. One-time Houston Rocket, spent 4 years with the Rockets. This is second season with San Antonio.
And there's 2 rings for playing with the Rocket.
Right.
Attended college at the University of Houston as well. Has been injury prone. Had some nice playoff series against the Knicks when he was with Houston, but has been ravaged by injury.
Very tough player in the past for the Knicks to match up with at 6'9" and 225. Knicks lead by 9 points. Oakley. Oakley on the drive, set up by Patrick Ewing. The Knicks now lead by 11 with 4.5 remaining third quarter.
Purdue a 7-footer, but not an intimidator as Oakley eluded him. Good momentum now. We have a pace in the game.
They double up on Del Negro. Here's Avery Johnson. Will Purdue. And he is fouled. Sandwiched between Oakley and Ewing. Foul committed.
Knicks must pay, though, for their previous transgression. Too many fouls by the Knicks. They are in the penalty. Previous Herrera can, too. Now Purdue looking to do the same.
Foul committed by Oakley. His third. That's Corey Alexander. Second-year man from Virginia.
Purdue only about 63% from the line. Almost an air ball as he caught the front of the rim.
Very few appearances at the foul line for the Spurs. Just 5 of 7. Knicks have gone to the line 16 times.
Purdue, a trivial question, who was he traded for? He misses both. And that person was the...
I know the answer.
Provocative Dennis Rodman.
Dennis going on to fame and fortune as a member of the Chicago Bulls. His antics not appreciated here in San Antonio, particularly come playoff time. Foul committed by Maxwell.
Rodman was here when they won those 62 games, one of the catalysts. But they seem to be happy that he's no longer around. It was a distraction.
The electronic wizard, our producer Howie Singer, also adding a footnote that Will Purdue, ironically, was also involved in the Charles Oakley-Bill Cartwright trade. He was the draft pick that went to the Chicago Bulls. Here is Alexander. Corey Alexander once again demonstrating the outside touch. He's 3 for 3 from the field.
And the Knicks have been vulnerable all season to the prowess from downtown of the opposition. Now they're getting hurt again by Alexander.
There are some here in San Antonio who feel that Corey Alexander should be getting more playing time. Avery Johnson runs the club very well, runs the club much better than a young player like Alexander, but Alexander by far the better shooter.
Ewing, no fluidity in his game, just standing flat-footed on his shot.
Ewing is now 2 for 11. Herrera with the pick. Oakley on a switch. Alexander pumps it out. And an offensive foul. Alexander making contact. It is a charge.
And that's what he lacks, his experience. That's probably why he's not seeing more action.
Timeout called by Jeff Van Gundy. 3:04 remaining. Third quarter.
It's another Big East A-10 Conference doubleheader as Rutgers heads for Villanova and Duquesne battles LaSalle. Saturday on MSG.
You are.
So you finally solved your hair loss problem.
Uh-huh.
It looks very versatile.
Uh-huh.
You can play in it.
Hoo-ah.
You can work in it.
Yabba-dabba-dabba-dabba-dabba-dabba-dabba.
You can even get it wet.
Ah.
We have a better solution.
Hmm?
Cordero Surgical Hair Restorations. We provide the latest surgical techniques that permanently restore your own hair safely. Call 1-800-585-4505 for your free consultation. Cordero Surgical Hair Restorations. We have a better solution.
5, 4, 3, 2, It started. The countdown to the 1997 New York Saints' next game's begun. And you can be a part of all the high-scoring, board-smashing action. The Saints fire up against the Rochester Nighthawks. It all breaks loose this Saturday night, 8 o'clock at the Nassau Coliseum. $12 gets you in to see how hot the action really gets. Tickets are on sale now at the Coliseum box office or Ticketmaster. Saints Lacrosse, presented by Bud Light. Indoors. In 10. In your face.
Save me! Save me! Save me! I'm being held here at Franklin Square Ford, and you can save me and dozens of other Benjamin Franklins when you buy any new Ford, a new conversion van, or a quality pre-owned car at Franklin Square Ford. Don't let them keep me here another minute when you could put me in your pocket and have a new Ford in your driveway too. Franklin Square Ford, 690 Hempstead Turnpike, Franklin Square.
Remember, when you're having good times with your good friends, drink responsibly, because friends know when to say when. A reminder from your friends at Budweiser.
Well, looking ahead, the Knicks will complete this road trip in Phoenix on Saturday night, 9 o'clock on the MSG Network. Knicks and the Phoenix Suns pregame coverage beginning 8:30 with the MCS KNICKS game night. That'll be Saturday night, the Knicks and the Phoenix Suns. Knicks 3 of 3 from three-point range here in the third, and the Spurs also perfect, hitting all 4 attempts. The Knicks 61 and the Spurs 53 with 2:50 to go in the third quarter.
Nick's trying to get Ewing involved, but he continues to be comatose on the low post. There's not any fluidity in his game.
Second straight off performance for Patrick Ewing. Ewing able to save that pass, and then Sean Corbin saying that the save hit right under the backboard. Nick's trying to say it was deflected by the Spurs, but they do not buy it. Patrick Ewing coming off the 30-plus games against the Celtics, although going up against the combination of Antoine Walker and Eric Williams. Had his problems last night, and thus far tonight, 2 of 11 from the field. Herrera. And on the back tap, it carried out of bounds, so it will be a Knick ball. Here's Buck Williams back, replacing Patrick Ewing.
Williams has been a demon on the offensive glass, especially the first half, igniting the Knicks. Oakley continues to swarm on the defense, but the Knicks that time denying Herrera.
Oakley and Buck Williams are the big men with the 3 guards, Childs, Houston, and Starks.
Poor space, and look, 3 Knicks in the same area.
Just under 2 minutes to go in the third. Shot clock down to 5. And Oakley's pass carries to the backcourt. Jeff Van Gundy not pleased. It is a violation. The ball will go over to San Antonio.
That play was doomed early on. I mentioned 4 Knicks in the same area. Obviously, they did not know where they were running. So Oakley threw the ball away. Right in front of us, the Spurs would have it in the front court. A lot of sideline here, Mar.
It's an unusual building for basketball, and I would think it's tough shooting the ball here. A lot of space under the basket, and I don't know about the vision.
It's a distraction. Looking through the backboard.
Maxwell.
We should have used that excuse in the first half. We forgot to do that.
But I would think, particularly when the Spurs are a contending ball club, it's a tremendous advantage.
Yeah, being familiar with the baskets here in the space.
All right, here's Oakley, and he's fouled by Herrera.
Oakley relentless that time, would not be denied underneath the left side. Herrera again allowing him to catch the ball 6 feet away.
I am not a fan of these the huge converted type dome structures, and I know they've been unhappy about this here in the San Antonio area. They are already talking about the possibility of a new building which would just house the San Antonio Spurs. The idea here when this was built several years back was that it would be multi-purpose. In fact, they did play football in another area here at a Canadian Football League franchise.
They have some bowl here. Which one of the bowl games they play here?
The Alamo Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
I made that up, Clyde. I really...
No, I think that's the one, yeah.
A minute 15 remaining in the third quarter, and the Knicks lead by 10.
Oh, that's a dubious call there. Good D by Oakley and Childs called with the foul.
That is his fourth foul, and he will sit down. Charlie Ward will come on.
Charles has been disqualified 3 times this season, but foul woes have hindered his play as well as injuries. He's very injury prone.
Corey Alexander.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, air ball.
Yeah. Well, he did switch the nets, Marv, but those don't count when they go that low.
Corey, though, having a sense of humor about it, remained with the follow-through pose. Let's see how he reacts, and he's able to hit.
Shows fortitude.
Right.
I mean, nothing more humiliating than to put up an air ball. Almost did it in Boston in the shootout.
Yes, I recall that, Clyde.
Yeah, but I had my jacket on,
right.
Marv. I forgot to take that jacket off.
The free throw contest between the legends of the Knicks and the Celtics on Friday and Saturday night. Houston on the drive. Allen Houston with a terrific third quarter. Now 5 of 5 from the field in the third. He has 18 points. Knicks lead by 11. 40 seconds to go in the third. Maxwell got the step and hit.
Good creativity by Maxwell. So both teams now getting dribble penetration.
And Alexander going for the steal. Neely deflected it off Ward. It was a close call. Half minute remaining in the third.
Ward should never give up his dribble, but Houston saves him.
Shot clock at 10. They isolate Houston against Maxwell.
Oh.
Here's Stark. Yes.
The 3-guard offense has been the bonanza tonight for the Knicks.
Knicks now lead by 12. 10 seconds remaining in the third. Alexander played by Ward. Starks able to knock away the dribble. And time runs out in the third quarter. Charlie Ward just flicking it. Shows the arm strength of Charlie Ward. That was from the backcourt. Not bad. After 3, Knicks 68, Spurs 56.
Every day, lots of people choose FedEx to take their 2-day packages. Cost? About $8. Every day, lots of people choose UPS to take their 2-day packages. Cost? About $6.
Every day, lots more people choose the U.S. Postal Service to take their priority mail 2- to 3-day packages. Cost? $3.
So, 8, 6, 3, what's your priority? Priority mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
Want to get your feet wet on the internet? AT&T makes it easy to catch the wave. Every day, AT&T.
From Nobody Beats the Wiz.
New York Knicks basketball is brought to you in part by the United States Postal Service. We deliver for you. By MetLife. Get Met. It pays. And by your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer. There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer.
Well, Clyde, on the television side, always a poignant moment for us. The Coke Classic play. And we feature last night's confrontation between Charles Barkley and Charles Oakley, talking it up right throughout. Barkley doing most of the talking and most of the scoring with 29 points and 12 rebounds. They did not get into any physical stuff. Beautiful move with Barkley able to slice through both Ewing and Oakley as the Knicks were beaten by the Rockets 106 to 86. Charles Barkley taunting Charles Oakley right throughout the contest. Said afterwards he would continue taunting until Oakley apologized for what took place in that preseason game back in October. And I saw Charles came over during the course of play and said something to you, shook your hand at courtside.
Yeah, that's the first time he's ever done that. I guess when you're having a game like that, you're very humble.
He was shaking a lot of hands last night.
Yeah. Talking the talk and walking the walk. Charles Barkley.
Fourth quarter is underway here in San Antonio. The Knicks with a 67-56 lead. Allen Houston with a sensational shooting third quarter. 5 of 5 from the field. 13 of his 18 coming in the third.
And the intangibles of Oakley, he's omnipresent on the defense. Good screens to free up Knicks on the offense.
Monty Williams just did get a piece of that front rim. The correct score is 67-56. Next, the scoreboard incorrect at the end of the third quarter. Buck Williams. And here comes Del Negro.
Well, they left him all alone.
And he takes advantage.
Two guards were there, Houston and Ward, and they did not communicate.
Confusion defensively. Here's Starks firing it up, looking to get the call of in the act.
Profound thinking by John, but he will not go to the line. That's what you want to do when you hear that whistle blow. Throw it towards the hoop. Normally you will go to the line, but the officials would hear none of it this time.
Foul committed by Del Negro. Minute and a half gone by in the fourth quarter. The Knicks with a 67-58 lead. They have led by as many as 13. Apparently Starks does get the call.
Yeah, they changed it. So, quick thinking by John. Much improved from the line this season. 75%, but had been much higher as he switches the first one. But it does not go there often enough, Marvin. No, there's Allen Houston. The Knick guards rarely shoot free throw attempts. Starks only 108, counting that one for the season.
And in Starks' case, that is a direct result of not taking the ball to the basket.
Right, and when you're not doing that, you're not helping your teammates by creating easy opportunities for them, especially the big men.
The Knicks now lead 69-58. Marv Albert, Walt Clyde Frazier from the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. Here's Del Negro. And a loose ball foul.
Elliott, the perpetrator, proverbial piggybacking play by Sean. Good boxing out by the Knicks.
Elliott called for his third.
That play has bedeviled guys since my time, Marv.
Did you use words like bedevil in your time?
No. I've used devil. I knew a lot about devil.
Rare miss for Allen Houston. Avery Johnson being played by Charlie Ward. Sean Elliott setting the screen.
Oh, good play by Charlie. Good hand.
And it ends up in the hands of John Starks. Starks with the hesitation dribble for Buck Williams. That's the play of the night.
Yeah, the Knicks capitalized, but give Ward the credit as he anticipated the pass and came up with the steal.
And it leads to a San Antonio timeout. The Knicks up by 13.
Last year, for the first time in history, winter storms stopped everything cold. Corporate America, the United States Post Office, even our government. Everything that is except Da Vinci's Pizzeria.
This is crazy!
Which had enough sense to drive the unstoppable legendary Jeep Grand Cherokee. For only $349 a month, you should too. After all, history has a way of repeating itself.
What a lousy tip!
See your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer.
Of Asia.
I whacked the wheat.
A statement like that?
Well, the toughest thing about
Reflecting.
Yep. The wild pass. Starks will end up with it. Starks off now, averaging 3 assists a game. Give up the baseline. It breaks down to D. Williams with this stuff.
And it led to a San Antonio timeout. 9.5 remaining in the fourth quarter. Del Negro.
Oh, nice bounce off rims tonight.
Knicks 71, Spurs 60.
But you see, when teams become efficient with their offense, it's because they're getting into the paint area.
Buck Williams shaking off Cadillac Anderson, and then, let's see, It's a goaltend.
Here again, the Matador Diva Anderson Williams swooping to the hoop. Actually, there's no 7-footer out there. Cadillac 6'10", tall as Spur. Oakley the tallest Nick at 6'9".
And I would think Gregg Popovich will stay with the lineup with Will Perdue sitting down as long as Patrick Ewing is not on the floor. El Negro. Rushed shot that time by Vinny Del Negro. Starks. And last touched by the Spurs. Vernon Maxwell returns, replacing Monty Williams. See the white band, a memorial band in memory of Angelo Drosos, considered the father of professional basketball in San Antonio. He passed away this past Thursday following a long illness at the age of 68.
Good perseverance by Houston. 6-6 with the bound and the tip in.
Alan Houston getting credit, and the Knicks now lead by 15 points.
Obviously, folks, the banner is white because their uniforms are black, so it will not be visible.
Sean Elliott cutting it to 75-62, and Ward will go to the foul line.
He has an uncanny ability to get inside with nice creativity. So that time drawing the foul, but the defense now is very porous. Nobody really playing the D. Swiss cheese defense right now. Everybody getting inside, creating. Previously we saw Buck Williams going inside. Starks finding Williams for a dunk shot. So total collapse now to Spurs D.
And Will Perdue returns, which brings Patrick Ewing off the bench. Getting back to the subject of Angelo Drosos, the one-time owner of the San Antonio Spurs, a highly successful businessman locally, best known for bringing a pro basketball franchise to the city of San Antonio. Man who led the push into the NBA, man who signed David Robinson to a contract, and instrumental in bringing the three-point shot. Perdue able to put it down. He helped bring the three-point shot to the NBA. Now the Knicks call for time. Knicks lead at 76-64, just under 8 remaining, fourth quarter. Starks digging and giving it up. With the facial.
You're watching MSG Network. We're all over it.
So you finally solved your hair loss problem.
Uh-huh.
It looks very versatile.
Uh-huh.
Medical transcription, paralegal, veterinary assistant, computer.
Get free literature on one of these 15 careers. That's 1-800-372-2552. Earn more money. Call 1-800-372-2552. Call now.
Well, looking ahead at this Knick road trip, upcoming schedule brought to you by Delta. Saturday night at Phoenix, Monday afternoon back to the Garden against the Bullets, and then Tuesday in Chicago. That'll be on S+, the debut of the new WBIS television, the Knicks and the Bulls. Tuesday night from Chicago. 7.5 remaining in the fourth quarter here in San Antonio. And the Knicks with a 76-64 lead.
Historically, the Knicks have lacked the killer instinct. You see the score. They should put the Spurs away here.
It's a injury-decimated San Antonio team that has lost 5 in a row. Record of 9-25. Allen Houston stepping out. Ball goes back to the Spurs. Childs now returns, replacing Houston. Allen Houston had the hot hand in the third quarter, hitting 5 of 5 from the line. A look at the injured members of the Spurs. David Robinson, Chuck Person, Dominique Wilkins, Charles Smith. Sean Elliott making his return tonight after missing the last 4 games with sore knees. And Elliott looking to go one-on-one with Buck Williams, and does.
Uncanny rotation, unorthodox rotation on his shot, but switching that one.
14 for Elliott. And the Knick lead is now 10.
Rotation was counterclockwise. So this chronic problem of the Knicks, even under Riley, they rarely put away the opposition when they had him in a position like this.
Shot clock running down. It's at 2. Giles with a runner. Ewing on the follow. For Ewing, only his 3rd field goal.
Nobody boxed him out. Purdue the culprit. So good effort by Patrick. The fundamentals, Marv, often neglected in the game today. Rarely see people boxing out. There are many articles being written now on why the scoring is so low in the league.
Here's Elliott.
The rotation looks like he shoots the ball from the side. Normally, you could count the strings, but not on his shot.
Well, what's your theory on why the low scoring?
I think the players can't shoot. They only practice 3-pointers and dunk shots. So there's a big void in the baby jumper area where players are not canning those shots now. And then the defenses have improved with the double and triple team and forcing guys to the perimeter, as we saw in this game early on in the first half.
Avery Johnson on the foul. When you say practicing, for the most part, dunks and 3-pointers, you're saying when they come out in the warm-ups, or just in general?
Or like if you go from Boston to Florida and see young kids playing, that's what they do now. Whereas if we just shoot it on a basket, we used to get the ball, you shoot a jump shot. These guys get it, they come in and dunk, or they shoot a 3-pointer.
Maxwell off the steal. Maxwell forced it.
The 2-pointer is too mundane in these days of the hoopla of the NBA. Everybody wants showtime.
Buck Williams, air ball.
Force shot by Buck. He's a right-hander shooting a left-handed shot.
Elliott pulls it back. Maxwell for 3. Purdue, foul.
Another problem with the big people. Purdue got the rebound. He's a 7-footer. He brings the ball to his waist. So obviously that makes him 6'8". So you must get the rebound, keep the ball higher. Starks with not been able to deflect it. So you have Maxwell misfiring. Now watch Purdue when he gets the rebound. He's going to bring the ball down right there, giving Starks the opportunity to knock it away.
The self-shrinking Will Purdue.
George Mearson is the best guy with that. He keeps the ball high all the time. He just likes the, the fluidity to move it, but he's well coached in the fundamentals of the game. And also the ghastly free throw shooting as Purdue misses this one. Free throw shooting also has plummeted, now down to around 72%.
And then the foul is called on Purdue, trying to take it away from Ward. That's 3 on Purdue.
And the Spurs in the penalty, so Ward will be rewarded with 2.
5:09 remaining in this 4th quarter, and the Knicks with a 78-67 lead.
Ward, a 78% shooter from the line. Good numbers for Ward as well. 6 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, 1 steal per game, and about 19 minutes of action.
And Ewing is fouled and is upset. He's being held back. He thought he was hit a bit too aggressively by Purdue.
And Purdue thought Ewing pushed him underneath in order to come up with the carom.
It is a flagrant foul. Flagrant foul called on Purdue. So Ewing gets the 2 shots, and then the Knicks get possession.
Yeah, he whacked Ewing across the chops.
Patrick Ewing, 6 of 7 at the line. Only 3 of 12 from the field. He has 12 points, along with 10 rebounds.
Ewing showing some exuberance on his second free throw, jumping around as he can. And so the Knicks will have it along the sideline.
Knicks now lead by 14 with 5:06 remaining in the 4th quarter. Nice pass, Buck Williams. Yes, and it counts. And another foul on Purdue.
Buck getting excellent positioning 3 feet away inside. Childs leads the Knicks in dishing 6 a game. Give him 1 for that one as well.
Purdue committing his 5th personal.
Watch where he catches the ball. Look at the positioning and the hustle and muscle by Buck. Buck, a very astute man as well, president of the NBA Players Association. 16 seasons now, a grandeur for him.
So the Knicks now lead 84-67 with just under 5 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. Del Negro picked up on the double team.
Look at the swarming by the Knicks. The Spurs going east and west. You need to go north and south to break down this D.
And Purdue with the shot clock running down did not get it off in time.
Because of the suffocating Knicks defense that time. They had poor spacing. Too much dribbling by Del Negro along the baseline.
Well, the Knicks get it back with 4:28 remaining in this 4th quarter. And apparently the clock was not readjusted, and the scorer's table sounding the horn. It is a do-over. So they will inbound again. And the game clock showing 4:29 remaining. Knicks staying with the 3-guard setup, which has been successful tonight. Starks. Ewing. Yes, and it counts. Beautiful move by Patrick Ewing. Will Purdue has had a very long 4th quarter. That is number 6, and he's picked up 4 in a hurry.
Ewing stagnant, lethargic most of this game. Watch this for the 7-foot Ewing. They get the ball around the perimeter. Very unselfish play now. Watch Ewing. Amazing grace as he eludes Purdue and hoops off the glass.
Well, apparently it was not called on Purdue. He remains in with 5 fouls.
Number 1, Chris Childs, his 5th.
Foul on Childs.
Second,
Knicks now lead 86-67.
To personify how superb their defense has been. Only 2 team fouls for the Knicks. Normally they would be in the penalty by this time.
Maxwell lost the dribble.
Riveting Nick D now. Previously they had a shot clock violation, now forcing another turnover. Of course, now you want to use some clock. Get the ball in. Look at Buck, uncontested.
Nice look from Ward, and Buck Williams will head back to the foul line.
Buck creating havoc inside.
Foul on Monty Williams.
A good patience and poise on the offense by the Knicks. So the Spurs defense has been lackadaisical all evening, so the Knicks have been able to exploit them in the paint.
Buck Williams with a solid performance, 9 points, 6 rebounds. Knicks turning it around from last night. A slow start, did not shoot the ball well in the first half, but picked it up in the second, sparked by Allen Houston. And the Knicks on their way to making it 5 wins the last 6 games. And will move a half game in front of Miami. The Heat not scheduled tonight, while San Antonio coming in at 9-25. This will be their 6th straight loss. Knicks in the midst of a 9-0 run, and they have their biggest lead, a 20-point margin with 3:20 to go in the 4th quarter. Buck Williams lowered the layup off the good pass from Patrick Ewing. And Maxwell hit the floor. He is fouled.
The Knicks have a penchant for fouling now, which you do not want to do. You don't want to stop the clock and allow them to take points off the board. Spurs collectively shoot 71% from the line. There you see their futility tonight.
San Antonio. Friday will be home for Sacramento. The next Monday they play at Minnesota, while the Knicks move on to Phoenix Saturday night with Danny Ainge and the Phoenix Suns. And then next Monday it's back home. Afternoon game against the Bullets, followed by games at Chicago, Indiana, and Charlotte.
Oh, yeah.
Ewing from Williams, and the Knicks lead 89-69 with 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the game.
Just tantalizing the Spurs now, opening up the offense and finding the open man.
Monty Williams hit on a reach-in, and a timeout has been called. Substitutions being allowed. Corey Alexander and Cadillac Anderson checking in. Apparently the timeout was waved off. John Wallace also re-entering.
The Spurs, this is symbolic to throwing in the towel.
Yeah.
Monty Williams at the line for the Spurs.
Patrick Ewing, though, joined this one, and we almost had our second free throw air ball by a member of the Spurs earlier. Corey Alexander got nothing but air. Buck Williams departs, replaced by John Wallace. Good ball game for Buck.
Exuberant Nick Bench, all smiles over there. Charles has been the orchestrator here, and the spacing by the Knicks has been superb.
Knicks with a 20-point lead as we come up on 2 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Walter McCarty off the bench getting set to check in. And Ewing fouled by Anderson. San Antonio is over the limit. Buck Williams with a total of 10 points, 6 rebounds.
Most of those on the offensive glass early on. And there's the Oakman as well. Charles very composed last night despite the devastation of Charles Barkley. Oakley never lost his cool, but uncharacteristic of him, Marv, because he didn't show that aggression. Normally that's what he's renowned for, that reckless abandon. Did not have it last night.
There was no edge at all on the part of the Knicks. And that could be seen with the way Oakley handled Barkley. But in all fairness, once Barkley starts hitting those outside shots, very, very tough. Very tough with him. Scott Brooks with a rare appearance. Played briefly last night. Well received back in Houston. Spent some time with the Houston Rockets and got a hand. Actually, more than a hand. It was an ovation. Patrick Ewing sitting down. 18 points. 11 rebounds, but did not shoot well. Only 5 of 14 from the field, 8 of 11 from the line.
I thought a nice gesture by Van Gundy as well to put him in. The crowd actually started asking him, Scotty, Scotty. And Van Gundy relented and put him in.
2 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. It's the Knicks 90 and the Spurs 70. Crowd has been filing out throughout the fourth quarter. And a holding foul. That'll put Starks at the line with the Spurs over the foul limit.
Spurs just dreadful in every area of the game. They lack rebounding, defense porosity tonight, and just the offense is futility as well. So they had their moments in the third period, but the Knicks remained focused and put the game away.
This is a San Antonio team that at this point last season was 25-9, but the injuries have just crushed this ball club. David Robinson out with a broken foot and a bad back. Chuck Person recovering from back surgery. Dominique Wilkins should be ready next week. He's missed the last 8 games, including tonight. Sean Elliott making his return tonight. Vinny Del Negro has been injured. He's been out. Maxwell able to lay it home, and the Knicks now lead 91-72.
Knicks napping that time. Starks did not see the ball. He saw his man But you must see your man in the ball simultaneously.
Maxwell with 22 points to lead the Rockets, or lead the Spurs. Minute and a half remaining. Walter McCarty being played by Monty Williams. Well, we have had garbage time through a good portion of this fourth quarter. Some might say through the first half also.
Yeah.
Maxwell.
It had all the ambience of a preseason game.
And Maxwell is called for the foul on the subject of injuries. Larry Johnson sitting it out again this evening. He's missed the last 5 games with that pulled left hamstring and still being called day to day.
There's LJ, all duded up tonight.
Sitting with rookie Dante Jones.
I'm going to check with him. Obviously, he knows where to go with that. Not going to get dressed like that to go. Well, they're leaving tonight, are they? Going to Phoenix?
Actually staying over and will be departing tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll check with LJ after the game.
Just under 1 minute remaining. The Knicks with the 20-point lead. Del Negro for 3. Well, the Knicks now lead 92-75. Johnny Ward in a reverse.
Nice improvisation. Could not get it to go.
Del Negro.
Yeah, vintage Vinny now, but a belated attempt by him. 2 consecutive threes.
One from the left, one from the right. Knicks now lead 92-77 with 14 seconds remaining. Foul on Alexander.
Well, last year, Marv, this team had 3 catalysts. Elliott had his best season as a pro, averaging 20 a game. Del Negro had his best season, 14 points. And Avery Johnson also had his best season, among the leaders in dishing. But injuries have, Del Negro has been out injured, and there you see AJ.
But showing the difficulties of the Western Conference, where it is not as strong as the East. Despite all their problems, San Antonio still could make the playoffs. And we're talking about a team that will be 9-26 following tonight. Brooks off the steal, final seconds, and that is it. The Knicks have beaten the Spurs 94-77. Not one of the classics, but the Knicks will take it. Coming off the loss last night in Houston. Again, the final score, the New York Knicks 94 and the San Antonio Spurs 77. David Robinson makes his way via crutches back to the locker room. The Spurs are now 9-26. We'll be back to wrap it in a moment.
Last year, for the first time in history, winter storms stopped everything cold. Corporate America, the United States Post Office, even our government. Everything that is except Da Vinci's Pizzeria.
This is crazy.
Which had enough sense to drive the unstoppable legendary Jeep Grand Cherokee. For only $349 a month, you should too. After all, history has a way of repeating itself.
What a lousy tip.
See your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer.
Pressure's hotline, what's your problem?
We're stuck with skunky beer.
So it's not Budweiser?
No.
Remain calm, sir. We're on our way.
Next time, look for this.
New Born on Dating from Budweiser, because fresh beer tastes better.
Pressure's hotline.
Could we order some Chinese?
Lots and lots, tons and tons of tennis balls. Some of the things that are on my Discover card statement
Two meetings this season. The Knicks, in convincing fashion, defeat the Spurs 94-77. So the Knicks have now won 6 of the last 9 against San Antonio. They did get the good ball movement after the slow start in the first half. Patrick Ewing only 5 of 14 for 18 points. One of his 5 field goals right there, and smiles on the face of various New York Knicks for the first time the last 2 games, as they're able to turn it from the poor performance last night in Houston. The Knicks with a 94-77 win on the Spurs. The Knicks go to 27-10, and they have now won 5 of their last 6 games. We'll be back with more from San Antonio in just a moment. Right now, let's check in with Bob Page at the MSG Sports.